nothing, just as I thought. It appears that this structure was designed to be exclusively accessed by the sword's chosen one. But designs can always be worked around, at least I hope. How do I get inside?
So first you need a shield, then get a skew on the slope facing away from the shrine door, then you surf into the shrine door twice in one jump, but don't try to do it too quickly or you'll fall into the ground. Your feet are skewed into the wall and you can see the shields. Hey, it's about time I start using a voice in these tutorials. Though in order to keep things chill, I've adopted this euphonious voice. Anyway, let's learn some shield tricks. Starting with something simple. If you ever needed some extra height in your jump, and don't care to land on your feet, you can utilize the shield flop, or Fosbury flop. To perform it, shield surf. Press Y to shield spin. During the shield spin, jump, and then 1 frame after jumping, take off your shield. It might take a little while to get right, but it becomes easy with practice. Trying it from a standing shield surf is pretty hard though, since it's hard to get the shield spin before the shield surfing ends. It's not much use in the overworld, but it's fun to just flop around on occasion. If you want, you can combine it with a rising Cryonis block for even more height. Need to show this Hinox dominance? Easy. Been challenged to jump over this entire statue of Hylia? No problem. Want to skip most of the Cryonis trial? That's actually really hard with this method. I don't advise it. Now let's get into something more complicated. Shield clipping, which will allow us to clip through walls. First things first, you need to understand that not all walls are created equal. While they all oppress us by obstructing our movement, some are better at it than others. To elaborate, when it comes to clipping through walls, the easiest walls to clip through are flat and at a 90-degree angle. Any wall that doesn't fit either of those descriptors will likely be too difficult to even bother with shield clipping. Now let's head to Ya Rin Shrine, the shrine nearest to Laurelin Village, to learn the secret of clipping, the skew. A skew is when Link very quickly pivots to a different angle and back after a cancelled shield surf. We can obtain a skew by ending a shield surf immediately upon landing on a slope. This can be done automatically by shield surfing into the slope, since Link can't ride up it, or if necessary, taking off your shield the moment you land on the slope. To use the skew, you must shield surf, and then before Link's shield boarding animation ends, take off your shield. If you don't take off the shield before the shield boarding animation ends, or if you let your shield touch the ground, you'll lose your skew. When it comes to obtaining a skew, keep in mind that the steeper the slope, the stronger the skew. Gentle slopes are not going to give you a noticeable skew, and it is not likely to help you clip through walls. For reference, if the slope is steep enough for Link to slide down it just by standing on it, it's a good slope to get a skew. The last thing we need to keep in mind is direction. You cannot clip into just any flat wall once you have a skew. You have to have a skew that pivots Link away from the wall you want to clip into, which can be obtained on slopes that face the same direction as the wall. To keep things simple, let's base these skews on cardinal directions. In order for you to get through this wall facing south, you will need to get a southward skew, which can be obtained on a south-facing slope. Another good way to look at this is that in order to clip through a wall, Link needs to go in feet first. Continuing, in order to get into this west-facing wall, you will need to get a westward skew from a west-facing slope, and so on. To perform the shield clip, you must use the skew while jumping into the wall you want to clip through. So you must move toward the wall, jump, shield surf, remove your shield before the shield boarding animation ends, and hold forward. It's not guaranteed to work, so retry if it doesn't, and reset the skew if it won't ever, and you've been following everything in this tutorial. The amount of deviation in your skew allowed when it comes to clipping is pretty strict. Try to get your skews on slopes that face exactly the same cardinal direction as the wall you intend to clip through. Within shrines, this is easy, but the overwall is trickier. You may not always have a convenient slope around you to clip through a desired wall, so it's important to note that skews will persist through fast traveling, loading screens, different saves, and even changing between normal and master mode. So if you are interested in something like clipping outside of the Trial of the Sword, you might want to get a skew in this shrine first and bring it there, since getting a good one inside the Trial of the Sword kind of sucks. Alternatively, if you can't find a slope to give you the skew you need, you can try to set one with this bomb setup. Climb and drop down, or wall step up from the wall you intend to clip through to make yourself parallel to it. Hold ZL to keep this angle. Find some spacious flat ground to stand on. Pull out a square bomb and place it in front of you. Backflip twice and parry 3 times. Immediately shield surf after jumping forward, and take your shield off immediately upon landing on the bomb. Hopefully, this should give you the skew you need, but it probably didn't. It's quite inconsistent and may require many attempts. When I mentioned that not all walls are created equal, I failed to mention one quality that poses a problem. Some walls have layers of collision.
Zelda, I can't clip through this wall. My skew is fine, and it's as flat as Mipha's chest, but it keeps pushing me back out. If only I could do something like shield clipping, but extend—
Wasting your time. Go, defeat Ganon.
Hold on. Now that that's out of the way, if you can't get through a particular wall for the life of you, and have some epic gamer skill to spare, we can get through more collision-dense walls, such as shrine doors, or even normal walls more consistently with the technique extended shield clipping. The setup is still the same. However, the execution of extended shield clipping is different in that you'll be shield surfing multiple times in one jump, and it's so precise that it'll require you to buffer frames as best you can with the quick menus. So, what you'll have to do is move toward the wall, jump and shield surf. Take off your shield before the shield boarding animation ends. Immediately start tapping and holding the quick shield menu, looking for the moment Link is in the process of returning to his normal upright angle from the skew. Once and if you caught that moment, hover over the shield in the menu, hold ZL and A, let go of the shield menu, then immediately take off your shield again after shield surfing for the second time. Hopefully, this should get you through. If not, deal with it, we're moving on. Let's see what happens when we get a skew in bullet time. Amazing! But if you actually take your shield off, you get a Skew Bounce. It's only a one-time use, however, as after the first use, the strength of the skew diminishes a lot. If you'd like to use it again, just set another skew in bullet time. I'm sure you've noticed that it's useful for combat, as Skew Bouncing allowed me to defeat Calamity Ganon in 11 seconds. Having bullet time accessible from anywhere is quite powerful. When it comes to setting up the skew for Skew Bounces, since it requires bullet time, the setup will be a little bit different. So to do it properly, find a high enough spot to jump down onto your desired slope. Jump towards it, shield surf, pull out your bow, and turn Link toward the slope so that the shield surfing is cancelled as soon as you land on the slope. For an alternative, more stylish way, have a weapon equipped. Face the camera the way the slope you intend to land on is going. Jump, press R, shield surf, pull out your bow. Now you'll already be facing the right direction. To use the bounce, just shield surf in place, and take off your shield before the shield boarding animation ends. The lower you are to the ground, the better. You can still bounce with a forward moving shield surf, it's just harder to time it properly where you're low enough to the ground to bounce. If you have a specific direction you would like to bounce, this depends on the slope you land on. You'll always bounce up in the cardinal direction the slope was facing. If you haven't noticed already, the way a Skew Bounce works is that Link's skew is so strong that it flips him completely upside down, slapping him into the ground, propelling him upwards. Because bullet time multiplies the skew by so much, even gentler slopes are appropriate for getting Skew Bounces. Though, the general rule of the steeper the slope, the stronger the skew still remains. For Skew Bouncing, it'll determine how high you'll bounce. And I think that's all I should cover. Now go forth, flop, clip, and bounce your way to victory. Until next time, farewell.